Well, hello you beautiful peeps, my name's John, welcome to my channel. Today we have the also similar cars. When one person has a good design, they all nick from it, don't they? And it's not just WL Toys, it's everybody. That's a knockoff from the Infaction, isn't it? So let's be honest. This is the WL Toys 284131. Yes, I was reading it. For some reason I thought it was the 128. And I don't know why they've not continued that. Maybe one of you can write in the comments below why they've not done 128 being a 128 scale rather than the 284. I don't know. Let's be honest, it's a K989 anyway. I personally think so, but there you go. There's not that much different from that to that, but I am going to actually do a comparison video for you all later. Now, the size of it is Diddy. Is that not tiny? How cool is that? Fully proportional steering, fully proportional throttle, and I love it. Banggood offered to send it to me, and I said, no thanks, everybody else has done the review, I don't need to. And they said, but you really should. And I'm like, but why? I have the K989. Why do I need this? Surely I could just buy the shell and put it on that one. And they're like, no, but you've got to try it. So they sent it to me for free. So thank you so much, Banggood. And I'm glad they did, because it's a lot of fun. It's not more fun than that one. They are pretty identical, let's be honest. But the shell suits it very well. And the amount of lights on this thing, well, an airport would be jealous, let's put it that way. What I want to say is there's a lot of car here for the money. Yes, for another 15-20 US dollars you can pick yourself up a WL Toys 144001, which is obviously the bigger car, goes a lot faster. This one has the added advantage of being able to be used at home in bad weather and be used by your kids without ruining anybody's legs. And I think coming up to Christmas, this really is something to consider for your kids. It's currently at 66 US dollars. Yes, I'm reading off my list. 49 Great Britain pounds, which is 58 euros. It's got the 130 brushed motor in here. Let me show you this in detail. Great detail on this car. I mean, for the money, you've got a fully blown RC car. It does everything that the big cars do. Other than speed, obviously. But it also has the ability, as I said, of being able to be driven inside, which is a huge advantage for places that get a lot of rain. This one was bent on mine when it arrived. I don't want to bend it back in case I damage it, but maybe it's supposed to be that way. So if you own one of these, just put a comment in the description below, or below the description, just stating that yours was also bent. There's one part of it that I don't like. On this one, versus the K989, they've decided to put this across the car rather than that way. The problem with that is getting the battery in is really difficult. Really difficult. The battery's on charge now, so I can't show you. Well, I could, because I've got another one over there. Please, hold on one moment. Beep beep. Ta-da! This is the tiny little battery that comes with it. Actually, this is the one that comes with the K989. 400 milliamp hour, 7.4 volt, 2S battery. And as you can see, I don't know why. Oh, that was a bit easy, wasn't it? The reason why I didn't think about doing that before you all start having a go at me, John, you plonker, was this was in like so. Actually, let me do it that way so I can do it properly. Here we go. So, I was obviously thinking, can't go that way, so I was trying to force it in that way. So, alright, we're going to move swiftly on for that. So getting the battery in is really easy on this car, because obviously you can remove the pin there, and then just slot the battery in nicely there. I still wonder why they swapped it around though, but I assume they had their reasons. Let me just give you some close-ups of the car here, so you can see the level of detail that they're able to get into this car. The differential doesn't seem to be working on mine. Or if you see on the this one here, see how it goes the opposite direction? Well, on this one, it doesn't seem to want to. But that, of course, could just be that it's new and the grease and whatnot hasn't got to the places it needs to get to. You have the center drive shaft there. Steering system. And it's all very basic. I mean, look at those basic shocks. But it just works. It does it very, very well. Now, as I said, it's got the 130 brushed motor on here. There's no information about the ESC that I can find, unfortunately. But I don't think there's a point of putting a 3S battery in there. Because why? And secondly, where would you put it? There's barely enough room for the battery that easily slides in there. Moving on. Suspension is, as you see, as funky as it can be. It does bounce around a little bit, but you know, this is intended for a flat surface anyway. In the box comes the car, a battery. They decided to go over to the WL Toys own controller here versus the K989 was this one here. So I'm not quite sure why they decided to change over, but I'm sure they had their reasons. And then in the rest of the boxes, you've got a charger, instruction booklets, some extra pins, which not a lot of them actually supply, and some extra gears. As you can see. There you go. My apologies for the banging next door. That's the reason I'm wearing this mic, in case that mic picks up the banging next door, and therefore I could use this. And that's, of course, this also picks up the banging next door, into which case I apologise. I can't do anything about the banging next door. The top speed of this is a grand 30 kilometers an hour, but trust me when I say it doesn't sound like a lot, but due to its small size, it feels like it's going like an absolute bullet. The actual runtime, it says it's 18 minutes. I haven't tried that yet. Colin and myself tested this in the bedroom last night, and it was just a lot of fun. In fact, it's one of those that I ran upstairs and grabbed the other spare battery to put it in there to have more fun, because it was that enjoyable. We were just, you know, enjoying it. A few more details for you. It's 175 millimeters long, 80, what would that be, wide? I assume so. 55 millimeters high. Not my fault. Yeah, 80.13. Let's do high, tight. Dun, dun. Dun. It's doing 55 from the wheels, obviously, up to the cab there. And as you saw, length. Oh, I can't go that far. It says 155. No, 175. There you go. Which would make sense for sure. Actually, between. Quickly do this while we're here. We have about 95 for those who want to look at getting a different shell. Was there any other information that you need to know? Basically a K989, said that before. A digital servo, which is back to the proportional steering, which is fantastic. I think the battery's charging up now, so I think the very next thing to do is to drive it around the house. I can't drive it outside today because it's absolutely pissing it down, unfortunately. But we will try and get some slow-mo shots inside the house. So let's get on.
Slum of heroes, wild mortals and the gods.
Welcome back to the Blue Map. Okay, what do you think? I am hoping that it came across how much fun these cars are to drive. I just been driving it on the roof. I've just been driving it on the roof because it actually dried up while I was downstairs. I haven't sort of included any of the inside footage, or maybe a few snippets, just because it's quite hard to record in such a dark place, really. I had all the lights that I have here downstairs, and the quality was terrible. Don't drive yours in the wet. I'm just a big kid and drove straight through the first puddle that I saw, but I wouldn't advise it. It will cut out and it will stop. I don't know if I showed this the last time. Just the inside with the wiring for the lights. Now, this whole time I've been driving it without that. I keep on coming back to 15-20 euros more should you get 144001. But I think that's the issue, isn't it? It's not an this one or that one situation, it's what fits you best. Are you going to drive it inside? Do you have a flat sort of road to drive it on? Something like this is fantastic. The 144001, of course, is more outside, more rough terrain, so you just need to make your own decision. I really shouldn't be comparing them whatsoever, price-wise. Let's be honest, they are two completely different machines. The lights on this one are a lot of fun. I do enjoy it a lot. It lights up everything like a Christmas tree, and I think that's very cool. So, for 66 US dollars, can I recommend this? Yes, definitely. If not for your kids for Christmas, then definitely for yourself. They're just fantastic. The speed run that I did, I hope you get the feeling of how fast it goes. It's quite difficult to show it with this one. It's really hard recording this small car versus the large ones, and I don't know why. It shouldn't be. It goes slower. It should be easier to record, but I just didn't find it that way. But concerning runtime, all of that recording that I just did, and that was a good 20-25 minutes, it didn't cut out. Now obviously I was stopping, just moving the camera, starting again, so there was that, but I don't know how much power it's got left in it, but it didn't run out after that period of time, and there was no problems with distance, and there's not going to be, because this one you really shouldn't be driving it 100 meters away from you, because quite frankly you won't be able to see it. Alright, I won't be able to see it, I'm old, leave me alone. So yeah, it's very good at what it does, and I like it a lot. I definitely do. I am actually quite happy, really happy, not quite happy, really happy that Banggood sent this to me, because now that Colin can drive this one, I can drive the other one. We can have some races on the roof. The roof is small enough to be able to set up a good track, so I think that's the thing that we'll do next. So run by, links in the description. Please use the links. It costs you no more, but it gives me a little bit of commission that enables me to buy bits and bobs for the channel, making more content for you guys for free. So click that link, and it's very helpful for me. Have a great day, take care of yourself, stay safe, bye bye.